The Chartreuse and black woolly bugger is a great streamer that gets the attention of fish in darker waters. This fly really breathes nice, and it is tied to fish shallow water. This fly gets the job done in lakes also. Make sure you have these materials ready to tie the fly.
Well, our next fly in the vise here is going to be a woolly bugger. I've got a size 8 streamer hook in the vise. I've got some 020 lead on the front here. Pretty much the whole shank is covered here. This fly is going to fish pretty much straight across. It's not going to undulate a lot. Now, if you wanted to double back on that and bring a little more lead in there, of course, you can change the movement by the amount of lead or the thickness of your lead. So that's a nice thing about tying your own flies. You can get them kind of tuned in for the water you're fishing, or have a few that are weighted a little differently, and you can just change your thread colorations if you want to identify them, because you can't see the lead underneath, of course. So we'll get our thread in here as soon as I get it out of my bobbin. But it's really nice, so we can tie our own flies and have the ability to create what we need. So I'm going to take a little dam in the front. I'm going to come over, just loose turns over the thread, and we'll just get a little dam at the back there too. That'll hold that lead. Won't roll around on them. You don't need a bunch of cement. Okay. So that one's not going to really undulate. You can put a bead on these flies, you know, you can do all kinds of things. Now we'll, for the tail, I'm going to be using some woolly bugger marabou. This is actually selected marabou. Wapsie does that. I know probably other guys doing it too. But a lot of that over the years. And that's all nicely selected plumes. I'll just put one on this. This is a smaller fly. You can put two on some of the bigger ones. Get that wound down nice. Cut that off behind the lead. Keep that body fairly level. Come around the back. That keeps your tail locked up on top of the shank. Now I'll just bring in some of this kind of a light green flashabou here. This is a polar flash. It's nice and breathes in the water. And the colorations you mix match however you want, but this is a nice color. This black and mint is really nice. Black and chartreuse actually. Okay, now we need to reinforce our bugs, so we're going to use some brassy wire here. This good heavy black brassy wire. You won't see it, but it's going to do the job underneath here. Blend in with the hackle. You want to make them bulletproof. There's no use catching a couple of fish and then have to find another fresh fly because your fly's falling apart. Let's make them durable. Throw a half hitch in there, and that'll come in with holographic ice stub and chartreuse. Now that's about as bright as you can get right there. So this one will turn some heads. Great attractor. And it's got the nice long fibers in it. You can use chenilles too. A lot of people just use these chenilles, but I like dubbing much better. I just can pick it out, work with it. When you're starting out and you got chenilles or whatever, there's nothing wrong with it. There's some really good flies tied with them, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm not trying to change anybody's way of doing things or discredit any products. That's not the idea, but look how bright that is, and that's going to really look good. Now I'll take one of these super saddles here, and we'll get some of this kind of webbier hackle at the back. I want to make sure that it's fit. Yeah, that'll work. Get the size I want. No, it's actually smaller than I need, so let's go back here and dig up another one. Oh, there's some bigger guys right in here. There we go, look at that. It even has the iridescence coming off it. See that? Isn't that nice? And one feather, you can tie a few flies with it too. So we just strip a little bit off, clean the front end off. Don't crowd your eyes on your flies, okay, guys? Leave enough room there. Guys and gals, there's lots of good gals that don't want to forget about you. I'm just going to take my thread to the Norway's post. Now I'll just take 2 or 3 turns there, and then I'll spiral back, give it some nice turns coming back, just a few. And that kind of takes a lot of that brightness out of there. And you're going to find too, when this fly is swimming, these hackles, why one of the webbier hackles is it will pulsate a little more. And I'd rather have a little longer, and flies that have pulsating hackles give it more movement. As far as I always say, movement means life, and life means food. If it's breathing, fish are really going to look at that. Get pretty curious. It looks more like a stick, not doing much, no animation at all. Well, then it's a little different. Now I got a large head on there, so forth, but that'll be all right. Grab myself my Chartreuse before I brush it out. And that's, use whatever head cement you like. Some guys are using nail polish, whatever you want. Okay, now I'll get my torch. Look at that, when I get the torch on there. They see that UV too. That's a nice bright fly. This is really good, especially in darker water, you can imagine. So I'll just, maybe I can get a few of these, a little bit of that holographic material coming out of there. Don't want too much taking it over the pattern, getting it too crazy, but that's a good woolly bugger right there, and it's nice color, and you can do all kinds of colors of woolly buggers, of course, but like I say, this one in darker water, high water, I would throw this behind a real heavy sink tip, and it's going to fall right behind my line. I can fish it really nice. The fish are a little bit slow. They're not chasing a lot. You know, there's times you can just throw it and rip it, but sometimes you want to drift it a little bit more and kind of put it in front of them. This will follow behind your sink tip really nice. So thank you again for watching, and we're going to get on to the next fly.
Thanks for joining us today. Subscribe to Brent's YouTube channel and Fly Fishing Pass It on video podcasts, and follow him on X and Sport Fishing on the Fly.